All right, so what's going on, guys? I want to do one more video here in this series about differentiating. I really think it's in your best interest to think, how do I differentiate myself as this market matures, as prices drop? This is where I feel the game begins, and this is where the real winners versus losers are going to be determined. Those who differentiate will be the winners. And how do you differentiate? So I want to try to provide some ideas that I think might be helpful. So we've talked a lot about how there's a consequence of cutting costs. If you cut, and you end up just going into, let's say, generic pop tops, or you're undifferentiated, what's going to happen is people see you as no different, and it's a race to the bottom. And I think that's a real risk for all cannabis brands. So what can you do as a result? You can move into beautiful packaging. These are some of our most beautiful packages at Cannabis Specialty Packaging. We make beautiful CR packaging for every cannabis product. Most of you guys know that. But today's video, I want to go one step beyond that. And I want to talk about storytelling. What do I mean by storytelling? It's something the best brands do in other markets. And I want you guys to be mindful of this when you're out shopping. You're out at the mall or the grocery store. Look at the top brands. They definitely don't do the equivalent of using a generic pop top, right? The packaging's beautiful. It has a certain brand vibe to it, right? Just notice which packaging catches your eye. So they use beautiful packaging. But what do they also do, the best brands? They storytell. And what do I mean by that? They use the packaging. They use it as an opportunity to tell you why they're different. And a lot of cannabis brands, very few are doing this. I'd say 9 out of 10 are not doing this. And it's something that the best brands in other markets do. And that's an opportunity for you, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. So I'll give you the cannabis example, then I'll give you a real example, and then we'll wrap this up quickly. The cannabis example, let's actually look at this product, Love Beauty Planet by Unilever. All right, so this is Unilever. They're a multi-billion-dollar corporation with many billion-dollar brands. I would say we can all agree they know how to build brands. So on this hairspray, they talk about what the product is, hairspray. There's a little information about it, about the scent and so on. But then on the back is where they really tell you why it's special and why it's different. So the cannabis example of this would just be hairspray. Logo, the word hairspray, logo, the word flower, the word vape cartridge. Maybe there's some strain information, and then there's a bunch of labels, all over the back of it. But it's literally just what it is, hairspray. Versus if we learn from the top brands in other markets, read the back of this package. And I'm not going to read it for you directly, but they talk about beauty. They talk about the planet. They talk about how to use it. There's all this wonderful marketing copy. So the example for the cannabis industry is, rather than just being it's sort of like that commodity mindset where we didn't have to build brands per se. We wanted to stand out. We wanted to look beautiful, but there's something far more than having beautiful packaging. It's the storytelling. And once supply and demand is no longer in your favor, when supply and demand is in your favor, and when there's more demand than supply, you can basically do whatever you want and you're going to sell. Now, I'd say branding still matters, but it matters a lot less. Now that we're facing situations where supply is exceeding demand, this is where branding is essential. So have your beautiful packaging. Don't just say vape cartridge with a tagline. Talk about your story. Talk about why you do what you do. Talk about if there's a sustainable packaging element or a sustainability story to your brand, talk about it on the packaging itself. And if you're running out of room because you have to put all this compliance stuff, I get it better than anyone, we can use QR codes to at least have a little bit more real estate virtually. Have a QR code bounce out to an Instagram video, something like that. But try to the best of your ability to storytell on the package. That might be what differentiates you. That might be what resonates with your consumer. The fact that you're from a certain town, that that you have a certain mindset for quality, everyone's story is different, and everyone has a reason why they got into this business, and everyone has something about their business that is different from their competition. And I think we need to understand that those differences might be the very thing that helps you form that loyal connection with your consumers as the market's shifting. So in summary, differentiate yourself. That's number one. Being a commodity is a race to the bottom, and think creatively. I think these are discussions that need to be happening at boardrooms, in boardrooms or in management meetings or just in meetings in general. How do we separate ourselves and not remove the DNA that makes us unique. All right, hope this video is helpful. Let me know what you think in the comments below.